And only one well is permitted by the DEP, but the document shows up to 52 wells on that pad. Yeah, so again, that is a very, very large well pad.
That all Marcellus or some of you?
So
Well,
so this is the Catton well pad. 8 wells are permitted. This document is a little bit different, but again, there's a lot more to it, but I wanted to show you how it's set up. So this will show you the horizontal, and we can get that to you. There's several of them that show each one, but this is just one that I pulled out so you have an idea when you get the documents. So the Mingo well pad, you were asking about where they were going to be drilling into. So at the conditional use hearing, I don't know if you guys know what that is, but every time the company wants to put a well pad in, they have to give a notice of intent to the township with an application, and then afterwards they have a conditional use hearing if they need to. So at the conditional use hearing for the Mingo well pad, it was on October 14th of 2020, and some things that stuck out to me that I wanted to bring to your attention. In 2017, well design was for multiple formations, the Marcellus, the Upper Devonian, and then the Janus-Lena, which I am not familiar with, but I thought I wanted to make sure that I pointed that out so you guys
Didn't
can
know
pay
those
attention
other
to
two. I didn't
that.
know that either.
And you know that that was their original plan, right? So we want to see if when they start applying for these permits, which formation they're going to be drilling down into, right? And again, at this time, they only said there were going to be 10 Marcellus wells, but again, that means that's how many they would be applying for them. They're going to come back, right? They were anticipating 1,300-foot laterals, which is 2.4 miles, so that's pretty far out. And the Mingo well pad, I believe, is going to even possibly go into Allegheny County. So the water supplies we talked about. They were saying that the water supply was going to come from the municipal vault permit on the PA American water line that runs down Patterson Road. We have seen several things, ways that they're getting that public water. Sometimes they will tap right into the trunk line where you and I get our clean drinking water. They will tap in using their pipes, suck that water out, throw the dirty hose on the ground, and trucks will just keep coming back. Other times we've seen them tapping into a line at the bottom of the access road and just running a pipe up to the pad. So another thing that's interesting about the Mingo well site is the additional permits required to secure from the DEP is alternate casing and cementing permit. And this is what Jason touched base on. And the reason why they need this is because the Mingo well pad is on top of an abandoned mine in the Pittsburgh coal seam. And we have that map. This is a document from EQT that was at the DEP, and you can see the mine underneath. And what's interesting with this, they say that they're going to try to drill through the pillars, right? This is an old rim and pillar mine. A lot of these were put in 1910, 1930. They didn't use GPS. So they really are making a guess of where these pillars are. The pillars might not even be there anymore, right? I mean, they could have collapsed. We just simply don't know. So we're kind of, yeah. So it's kind of a guess, right? So what? One thing you can do about that to protect yourself is get mine subsidence insurance. You can get that from the DEP. That's just a little extra, support that you can have if you are seeing something happen. Because you don't want to get caught in the blame game. Well, that was the mine. Well, that was the well pad, and we've seen that as well. Yeah. So this is something that you can just, get just for a little bit of extra protection. And Jason, I don't know if you want to. I mean, you kind of already talked about that permitting and the casing with that. I don't know if you have anything else to touch base on. But.
With the Mingo well pad specifically, they have like a set formula on how far the casing should go down to protect, like groundwater, and then how past like a certain barrier they need to go. With Mingo specifically, there's a lot of unknowns, just because of, you know, the nature of the coal mine below it and everything else. So in their plans, and you know, you can ask your township, you know, for these permits, or you can find them online, but they talk about on the Mingo well pad, when they do the casing for the vertical bore, which is kind of, you know, the first hole they drill to then send out the horizontals. They have to case it in cement to protect, basically seal it off. They have to go down a certain length to protect the groundwater around the well. With this particular well pad and this vertical bore, where the mine sits and the coal seam is, it's very close to where the buffer is for the groundwater. So they actually had to pull back on the casing plan for the groundwater a little bit to kind of encompass both. So they made a modification that doesn't fit what DEP requires of them, but DEP approved it. So it's kind of one of those variables where it's like, if something were to go wrong, this is kind of a perfect example where, you know, they made their best efforts to kind of appease both rules that DEP has, but it's also an area where it's uncertain, right? It's DEP approved it, sure. So DEP says, yeah, you should be good, no issue. But that is one of those instances where it's like, okay, here's something that they don't normally do. It's, you know, it doesn't fit their protocol. This is, you know, an area where we should be watching, because we should be, you know, a little concerned with how they cased it at this spot. So, you know, that's one of those examples where it's like, it's risky of the company to do this. You, right, people that live near the well pad just need to be, one, understand that, and two, on your toes to see if there's any changes to your water.
And go ahead.
I would just say, you know, and we can send this information, if you don't already have mine subsidence insurance, it's just a smart thing to have. You purchase it from the state, it's very low cost. We've been seeing all kinds of mine subsidence issues come up, especially due to extreme flooding that a lot of our communities are facing in the spring, that we saw at Daisy Town, not far from here.
There's a house that collapsed from mine subsidence. It's like half a mile from here. It's right up the hill.
Right, and just remember, you know, this is legacy mining, so it's not like if it damages your house, you're going after Consol, because this is not Consol's mine, right? This is legacy mining, there's no one to go after. If you don't have that mine subsidence insurance, you're on your own. So I really, really want to encourage folks to check that out. You know, we don't know, we can't say exactly what's going to happen underground, but we do know, you know, fracking, a lot of folks that live next to it will say their homes are shaking, right? So we could expect to see increased subsidence. So you really should consider acquiring that.
Yeah. And it's easy to navigate on the DEP website, but if you're interested in that and are having issues, we can help you, you know, get you the website and show you even how to find your property and find that mine, how big the mine is under the well pad.
And your homeowner's insurance typically does not cover this type of damage.
It's a special insurance just for this. And I know that the mine we're talking about and the subsidence we might see in this area, there is no party at fault. So you would be on your own.
They're all abandoned.
So the water lines. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with